Okay, I'm here with Chris Crawford and Chris Huelsbeck as well, two Chris's. Chris Crawford was the level designer for this level, and so he'll talk a little bit about creation, and Chris Huelsbeck is going to talk a little bit more about the music creation and just how the music was created overall for the game. We'll start with you, Chris Huelsbeck. Talk a little bit about the music.
A big change that we have now is that we're streaming all the music from the mini DVD. So there's actually no MIDI set that's playing in the background anymore. We're producing the music completely in the studio with high-end studio equipment. And one thing we're using is like gigabytes of orchestral sample libraries that we can utilize now.
So what type of tools and systems or recording equipment do you use?
So yeah, the difference between early studio technology and now is that you can now use computers to simulate all the equipment that is used in the studio, and you can stream the samples off the hard drive, so you have no limitations anymore how much instruments you can load, stuff like that. So it's really amazing technology that you have available nowadays. We have 5 computers with up to 80 gigabytes of samples that we can use at any time to produce the music.
And how much are you working with the programmers to get your music? And is there a back and forth with the programmers as far as what you're able to do? And
actually, our system has evolved that much that the programmer doesn't have to do much anymore to put, for example, any music pieces in. I can do that completely by myself. I have like scripting tools and authoring tools that I can utilize, and I have my own dev kit, and I can basically put the music in and hear it right away when it appears in the program.
Now, does the music sound different in the game as opposed to when you're creating it, or does it sound the same, or how do you...
The quality is very, very close to what comes out of my studio. I mean, obviously there is some processing going on to get it down to the size on the mini DVD, but it's a very good hi-fi quality.
Chris Crawford, do you want to talk about some of the thought that went into this level and some of the challenges maybe?
With it's the second level, basically. The main challenge, I guess, is to try to maintain the player's interest, make it challenging but not too difficult, because a lot of people will be playing the game for the first time, and everyone will be playing the character mode pretty much the first time. So that was the big thing, and then to get the visual looks, to get some sort of visual hook that appeals to people was a real challenge.
And why did you choose to have speeder bike sequence in the beginning and on the third stage? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, I think the speeder bike is one of those craft that a lot of people really, really like from the movies, that a lot of people have always really wanted to do. So, that to give that to people on the second level, I think is a good idea. And to start the level that way, it's an exciting way to start the level and an exciting way to finish the level.
Yeah, you have some really nice gameplay mechanics going on with the speeder bike. Was that always the plan? Did you know exactly the kind of experience you wanted to make for the speeder bike through the canyons and then on these ledges on the second or the third stage?
No, I definitely didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I thought I did maybe at one point, but the design is constantly evolving. The one thing that definitely remained constant was the desire to give the impression of speed, because the speeder bike is one of the fastest feeling craft in the whole game. So it was important to maintain that. As far as the jumping, for a long time we thought there would be, some jumping, boosting stuff, but the way that it is now is not quite how it started out.
You said that the illusion of speed, or keeping the speed fast-paced, was important. How did you achieve that?
Well, the combination of things like the camera field of view, keeping the craft low to the ground, because initially the speeder bike was higher in the air, its hover height was higher, and that wasn't as effective. And making sure that there's a constant stream of sort of player height obstacles, like the probe droids and the rocks and things that go whizzing by, at the player's height.
Were there any challenges as far as scripting the AI? How did you get the second sub-level where you're running around on foot and you're manning these guns and you're shooting enemies? It seems to work really well. But were there any Were there any challenges as far as how to get it to work as well as you did?
Yeah, it wasn't actually, scripting-wise, this level overall is pretty simple. It's certainly not the most complex behavior that those guys do, but actually just deciding what to make them do in the first place is the real challenge. It's once you figure out what you want to do and decide that it's a good idea, then implementing it is usually not the hardest part.